Hey guys, welcome to the Homie Dogs. What's up? I'm Finley.
I'm Leanna.
I'm Brianna.
And I'm Nathalee.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time.
And that I want to talk
Who,
about.
like, the same person?
Victoria's like clearly very a huge
fan.
Tommy fan,
Mhm.
and like every time she spoke about the book in class, she kind of just made Greg like a villain. Like every time she spoke about it, she was like, "Greg should be grateful," and blah blah blah. And it's like,
Honestly,
realistically, Tommy did really mess up his life in a lot of ways. Like, like
Tommy
like,
should be grateful that Greg
like,
gave
it's
him the
just,
time
like,
of day.
It just bugged
Well,
me
would
that she was looking
someone-
at it with rose-colored glasses. 'Cause it's like, I get you're a fan. But
that's so
like,
true. Like, would you be grateful if someone like tarnished your name, made you look like you made this terrible work? Like,
I feel like Tommy should really be be more grateful to Greg. Because
he is grateful.
Was he not grateful?
no, like,
He is
he was,
grateful.
but I feel like the way she was putting it was like Greg showed him like no sympathy and was like, Greg
Yeah.
did the entire
she
movie
was like,
with
Greg
him.
wrote this entire book making Tommy seem stupid. And I was like, Tommy did that himself. By being
Yeah, Tommy
Tommy
was stupid.
Yeah, and I really don't think Greg was like out to get him at all.
He's just like, this
in
is how
the-
the movie was made.
Yeah,
Like,
he was just. I think he was like.
my girlfriend
enjoying-
and I broke up. This
Yeah.
happened. This
I
and
think
this
he was
happened.
just
Like,
enjoying.
he
Like,
just said that events
the
happened.
weirdness of.
Yeah,
Tommy.
exactly. He
Yeah.
literally just realized that his life was a living movie for those years
Yeah.
and just was like, I should write a book about this.
I don't think he was that mad
Yeah,
about
she
it.
made it seem like Tommy gave Greg like this huge notoriety, but it's just like, first off, the end of the movie is like kind of fake because like they showed everyone enjoying the movie immediately. That didn't happen for like a long time. It took a long time for The Room to gain the cult status that it has.
Yeah,
So it's just like those few years must have been rough,
that's so
rough
true.
as hell. Especially because Tommy made such a big deal of premiering the movie. Like
Yeah.
it bugged me. It bugged me
Yeah.
a little.
I think she wasn't like spot on to that with that observation.
Like, why do you think Tommy wanted this movie to happen so bad?
Yeah, I just feel like he, like, coming from, like, a writer's standpoint, like, you have, like, such a vision, and it's, like, your baby, and, like, you want it to come true so bad. So, like, when he found out that, like, he could make it come true, that's, like, all he wanted to do.
Why do you think he like didn't want to accept like
you want
any
it?
criticism on it?
Again, going back to the whole, like, his book is his baby thing, or his movie is his baby thing, like, you don't want to hear people's criticism if you have any inkling that it's not going to be what you want to hear. So,
That's a whole mood.
He also just doesn't care what people think. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
exactly, he doesn't care if you like it, because he likes it.
Honestly,
But
you
he
know
did
what'd be
care
the,
at the end.
like the best? Because like you know how like everyone laughed at it even though it wasn't meant to be a comedy. What if like deep down he always meant it to be a comedy? Because like the whole
I don't
Oh,
think
so that
that's
he
a thing.
fulfilled his goals.
Yeah.
Because I just want him to be
because
happy.
like
So, I mean, no, because I think it makes it a little bit like sympathetic towards him.
how do you feel that that's how? Because like all of what Tommy wrote in that movie was like what he thinks Americans just say. He's like, yeah, this seems like a normal conversation. Like
Right.
this is how people speak.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Well, that's how he
He's from
talks.
another
Oh, hi,
planet.
Mark.
I did not
Like,
do it.
oh, I'm-
I did not.
I did not.
I did not.
This is bullshit.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So it's like, how do you like? It feels kind of weird that that's what a foreign person is.
It's not foreign.
Yeah,
We don't know
that.
Exactly,
Are you
so don't
joking?
blame him.
That
He's not
guy-
foreign.
He's
I'm
just
not
his
blaming
own
him,
person.
but I'm just saying like he's kind of like a person looking in on society.
Right.
So like, how do you like? It just feels weird to know that that's what he thinks society is when he's looking in. Because I told Finley this multiple times when we were watching the movie. It's kind of like an alien trying to figure out how to be human.
Do you
for
think
the
there's
first
something
time.
actually wrong with him, or is
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
100%.
definitely like autistic
Yeah.
or something.
Because think about it.
Interesting.
How many times, like, if someone tells you something is bad, like 1,000 times, and you don't.
I
even,
feel like he
listen at
doesn't have
all,
empathy
like,
for people.
Yeah, you clearly just don't have any idea
He's
of what's
either
going on.
autistic, has Asperger's, or is a sociopath.
Or all three.
Yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
has something wrong.
that'd be
Yeah,
a
An
great
autistic
mix.
sociopath would wreck the world
Yeah.
right now. let me
Autistic.
tell you.
Or
And
make a
we all
movie
are.
that
Autistic.
Oh.
Like I feel like he can't express emotions. That's why he sounds so weird when he talks.
yeah.
Or like
Okay,
or when he
sure.
like
It's-
tries to
yeah.
act. Like he doesn't
He
know.
literally is like,
how
he
to-
doesn't know how to be a human. It's just,
Like, yeah, honestly, like he thinks he was just acting in the room. Him just living life is like acting.
He
Yeah.
kind of has the
figuring this
mindset
out.
of like a
Goes,
4-year-old.
yes.
Like,
He
I know
also-
that I'm good at this, and you can't tell me that I'm not, because look at this. It's like, no, that's not.
It's like if
Good.
someone gave a giant foreign toddler money.
he also
Part two.
probably, like, barely understands English. I mean, you can tell by the way he talks that it's like, he doesn't know all of English. Yeah,
Like,
there's probably so many people who have like foreign language like experts that have like dissected his accent. Look that up.
Yeah, to like find out like
It's
It's not
where
even like
he's
an
from.
accent though. It's just like
It's like
so an accent.
it's the way he pronounces words.
it's like
You know what I'm saying? Though?
not so much an accent, just like he has a weird speech impediment.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like we've been talking about a lot about Tommy and just the room and not the disaster artist itself, and we did that a lot in class too. Like, let's focus on Greg. What's Greg's dilemma? What's his
Greg's dilemma is that
I honestly think he's fine.
Yeah, I think Greg started out just being really interested in
The confidence. Of
yeah,
Tommy.
like
Yeah.
there's something about this guy that he just doesn't care what anybody else is saying.
They each had something that like the
Why are
other
you guys
person
answering
could
the
benefit
group
from.
chat?
Like, Greg wanted some of Tom's confidence. And then Tommy, I think Tommy, what did he want from Greg? I think he just wanted a friendship.
Yeah, he wanted a friendship and he wanted someone who
Just wanted
knew what
support.
they
Well,
were
actually, he didn't really start out wanting anything from Greg.
He just wants someone to listen to him.
Yeah.
I think as the movie went on, he like didn't realize that he wanted something from Greg, but he needed the belongingness. Like he wanted
Yeah.
somebody to be on his side, especially when they were making the movie. Like nobody else was on his side. And then when he realized that like when Greg was like, oh, like I'm moving out, like you saw like how upset that got Tommy. Like he
Yeah.
wanted someone to be there with him all the time.
I wonder if he was abandoned or something.
Do you think Tommy was in love
Honestly.
with Greg?
Think he's gay?
I don't think so.
Because that's like a conspiracy about it.
Oh.
I think he, honestly, who knows?
In some
Tommy's
ways,
sexuality.
yeah, in some ways, not in terms of like sexually, but just like he wanted to be the main thing in Greg's life.
Yeah.
The
Which I
only
think is
thing in
another
Greg's life.
mental
'Cause he was, like,
delusion.
jealous as hell.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
when he wanted to leave that club immediately, just because he saw Greg
Yeah.
flirting with that
That's not a
bartender.
good.
So
that's
it's just
nice.
like he was like, I want to go now. And then when he was moving out, no, when he was like, we're moving in together, and he just assumed they would move into like their place, and he was like, no.
He just sounds slurred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sounds like he's drunk all the time.
Once you like figure out his accent, then it'll make more sense. Like you could like actually listen to the people with the accent and be like, oh, like
I
yeah,
don't think
I
people
think he
want
just
to
has
solve
brain
him.
damage, and that's why he talks like that.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think he's from somewhere.
Oh
that's
my
why-
god, that could be true.
No, it
He's
is.
brain damaged.
Yeah, I think something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's why he talks like that.
Oh. Do you think the book or the movie was best to portray this
But,
storyline?
like in this one, I think the book was better just because the movie made it seem that Greg went along with Tommy's like shit a lot longer than he really did. Because like right from the beginning of the book, Greg
Yeah.
makes it clear how certain things made him feel. So it's just it's better giving that perspective of like, because like you have to remember it's Greg telling this story,
That's true.
not Tommy. So it's like it gives
Yeah.
it like the book is better at giving insight as to what Greg is feeling because it's written by him.
And in the movie, they didn't show like they showed Greg just accepting the role of Mark. Was his character.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't show
Yeah,
him
just
not wanting it for
immediately.
a long time.
Yeah, and I thought it was so funny, like with the money thing, how he like offered, like what's his name? Greg wouldn't take it, and then he found out how much money it would be, and he was like, oh, what? Okay.
And I feel like it's just different because the book is from Greg's perspective.
Yeah.
So like we just see like all the emotions behind like the certain things that like
Yeah.
he just didn't
Like
really
the movie
show
kind
in
of
the movie.
removed Greg's perspective.
The movie didn't really make it from anyone's point of view. It was just like watching
Yeah.
their relationship, and I feel like it was just a different feeling that they
Yeah.
both gave.
movie.
Greg is a unreliable narrator.
It's so much of Greg's emotion that
Yeah.
it's not always clear, but like
Yeah.
I feel like some of the things like the on-set stuff are like truer just because it involves other
Yeah.
people, that could have easily been interviewed or
Mhm.
asked about it.
That's
But
a
like
good point.
things, I
Like,
think things. He was most unreliable when it came to like their friendship and things like
Yeah.
that. But like the stuff on set, had to happen.
Yeah, that's a really good point because there's so many other people that were there that were like,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, like witnesses.
Yeah, they'll
Imagine
be
if
like,
he
yeah,
told
he
a
gave us
lie.
hot water on a hot day,
Yeah, or like just
and then
Didn't
was
he-
hours late.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait,
They
Tommy
also
or
didn't
Greg?
show him
Tommy.
being. I mean, they talked about him being late. Like someone was like, "Oh, you're late every day," but like you didn't really see that.
In
There was
the
that
the
one
movie.
day. He was
In the
like-
movie,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
just one
Yeah, so it's kind
where
of.
everyone was like dying,
But
and then the
he
old
was
lady
late
passed out.
every day in the book.
Yeah, they didn't make that clear
4
in the
hours
movie.
late.
Yeah, like.
But that's.
the
I feel like
first
that's pretty
day of-
important.
The first day of filming, he was late because he was
Yeah.
dyeing his hair again.
That whole thing with the mole on that girl's body was pretty jacked up.
Oh, right.
What?
Yeah, when he's like,
When he
what
was
is that?
You're not there.
No.
Oh yeah, during the sex scene. Yo,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
poor girl was
They were-
humiliated. Like
Yeah.
that part really messed me up. You guys ready for the room? Cause like
Yeah, I'm ready to die
I'm really
laughing.
excited to.
I'm
Oh my
like
God.
going.
I'm
my
so
God,
excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna
I'm
cry
excited, but at the same
laughing.
time, I get secondhand embarrassment so easily. Like
I hope
when
you know
watching
Disaster
something-
Artist is supposed to be funnier than The Room.
What?
Because The Room is the one that's supposed
But
to
no.
be not funny.
Well,
Yeah,
it's still
but that's
funny.
the
But
thing.
it's still funny.
It's funny, but Disaster Artist is funnier because it's meant to be.
But I think
just
since we
about how
know
you go
that,
and seeing
we'll
it.
think it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll find it funny just
'Cause,
because.
like,
I
the
just think
people-
Tommy in general is funny. I love Tommy.
Yeah.
I wonder if it definitely like going on that when people were starting to talk about it and we're like, this movie's so bad it's funny, that like then people thought it was funny, so that it just like became more and more of a thing. So now we're told that it's funny.
It's gonna be really weird having to see the actual Tommy instead
Yeah.
of the actor.
I
who
think it's
we
gonna be
know
a little bit
plays
of a
him.
shock.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's. I feel like it's
James
like,
Franco
it's, like,
did a
really
good job.
Amazing.
He did a great job, but,
still.
Tommy's still much uglier than James Franco pretending to be Tommy.
James
And it's like,
Franco's still cute.
like, here's the thing. Tommy Wiseau looks like evolution kind of just stopped somewhere along the way with him.
All right, so that's our last podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Our time may yo.